have a quorum.
Jerry Abrahams,
Here.
Cindy Butts,
Here.
Wendy Clark,
Here.
Heidi DeWinger,
Here.
Kylie Goslin, Kylie, Tim Hodges,
Here.
Kathy McKinnon,
Here.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Here.
George Perez,
Here.
Franklin Perry,
Here.
Sarah Sanders,
Here.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Here.
Glenn Thames,
Present.
Greg Ugalde.
Present.
I think everyone is here.
Thank you, Shelley. On public comments, Shelley, could you tell us the process?
Sure. Good morning. This is the only opportunity on the agenda for the public to provide comments. If you'd like to provide a comment, please unmute yourself and state your name. To provide enough opportunity for everyone to speak, we will limit the comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone who wishes to speak? Anyone like to make a public comment? It doesn't appear so. So the public comment period is ended, and I'll turn the meeting back over to you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Shelley. The CEO, Executive Director's reports, and Anthony.
Sure. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. September has been an incredibly busy month. We had August to sort of recover, but the last couple of months have been incredibly busy. We've had a number of sort of celebrations or groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings to attend, which brought over 750 units of affordable housing online. I won't go into detail about that, but because it's in your packet, but I want to thank board members Tim Hodges and Greg Ugalde for your support and presence at a couple of the openings. It was truly appreciated. We've been working really hard on the draft plan for the Homeowner Assistance Fund throughout the summer. And we had a public comment period earlier this month. We received 26 written comments. In general, comments were related to clarifying terms, understanding what certain definitions meant or included. There were some questions from landlords or relating to landlords and non-owner occupied residences, questions about non-digital forms of outreach and application assistance, questions around home buyer education, and basically a lot of focus was put on marketing and outreach efforts that CHFA and DOH will be working on in the coming days. We are working on a revised draft of the plan. Based on those comments, we expect to submit our plan to Treasury this week. Lisa Coper from our finance department will be updating the board a bit later on with the plan specifics, including what we're intending to do for marketing and outreach. I have some great news to share. We made an application earlier this year, and we were just informed this month that we're being awarded $2.3 million from the NeighborWorks America Housing Counseling Stability Program. These funds were made available under the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. We understand that there was a high demand for these funds as NeighborWorks America received grant requests totaling over $348 million, which is more than 4 times the amount of funding available. CHFA has a good experience in this. Obviously, we run a counseling program currently throughout the state, but we've also administered a similar program when after the financial crisis, the federal government made funds available under what was referred to then as the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, or NSP. The purpose of the grant is to support our efforts in delivering housing counseling services to households facing housing instability as a result of eviction due to default or foreclosures or other types of difficulty and loss of income. I also want to make a quick report to you about a request we received relating to providing first mortgage financing for eligible households desiring to live in a condominium complex in downtown Stamford that's being developed by HDF, or Housing Development Fund. It's a nonprofit out of Stamford. They have a long experience with CHFA. They do a lot of business with us. They're a HUD certified housing counseling agency. They're a CDFI. They are a developer and lender. And they're developing 22 2- and 3-bedroom condo units in downtown Stamford. The condos will be marketed to families making 50% AMI, which is in Stamford somewhere between $60,000 and $80,000, depending on household size. The capital structure envisions HDF and the city providing eligible households with down payment assistance for up to 20% of the purchase price through a combination of deferred, forgivable, and a small amount of repayable debt. Subject to our underwriting criteria, we're committing to provide the first mortgage financing, and it'll be an opportunity for households to live in a highly desirable part of Stamford. We think this is an important part of our mission, but this initiative does require us waiving our policy restriction that says that CHFA will not hold mortgages on more than 50% of the units in any one condominium community. As per our written procedures, we are required to provide a report of this to you, and that is what I'm doing right now. So with that, I will turn it over back to the commissioner and see if there are any questions.
Thank you, Nandini. Any questions or comments for our CEO?
I would just say that I'm very familiar with HDF, well-run, well-organized, organization, and I would highly recommend that we waive our requirement.
Hi, it's Tim Hodges. I know HDF well too. I guess my question is, have we, in the past, how often have we actually waived our requirements for this type of project?
Good morning, Tim. Thanks for your question. We have done a number of similar waivers, not since I've been here, but certainly over the last 10 years or so, we've done a number of similar waivers. We did spend a lot of time looking at the capital structure and understanding how this would work. They received a significant amount of subsidy from private, public, even DOH gave them some pre-development funding. We were comfortable with the structure, with the fact that this will be sustainable for the homeowners at 50% AMI, knowing that they're going to be living, in an extremely desirable neighborhood and providing their opportunity to their families, and knowing that our funds will be in it. We wanted to get comfortable, and we are.
Thank you.
Any other comment? Thank you, Nandini. Okay, thank you. Finance Committee, since the Finance Committee is still on vacation, huh?
Yes,
Not the
we'll be
mortgage
back
committee.
next month.
Okay, next month you're coming back. Okay, well, Mortgage Committee has been pretty busy. So let's go to the Mortgage Committee. We have 3 action items. Ms. Suda, are you going to present those resolutions?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. The first item before you is Bayonet Street Apartments, Phase 1. The board is being asked to approve a first mortgage construction loan utilizing tax-exempt bond proceeds for up to $5.8 million, interest only during construction at a rate of up to 4.87% and a term of up to 30 months to Bayonet Street Apartments, which is an entity that is formed by Eastern Connecticut Housing Opportunities, also known as ECHO. Bayonet will be a mixed income development to be located in New London. Again, Phase 1 will have 28 units. In total, they will have 64 units. 6 of the units will have rental assistance through the Department of Developmental Services, serving individuals with intellectual or developmental disabilities. And there will also be 6 market rate units. The vote in mortgage committee was unanimous. There were questions as far as supply chain impact and ECHO's experience in doing a tax credit deal. And I would certainly encourage mortgage committee members to ask any, share their comments. With that said, we also have staff available as you consider this resolution.
Thank you, Masuda. May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Lisa. Any questions or comments?
Just one thing that the mortgage committee, we really drilled down on focusing on some of the inexperienced areas that we saw, and it was explained very well, and it's really been reviewed properly and in depth. I think that everyone by the end of the conversation felt very comfortable with this.
Thank you, Greg. Any other comment?
And also, I think we talked a lot about the reserves and the ability or the flexibility to extend the time frame in case of the supply chain or, a difficulty in getting the necessary construction materials to build the project. So we think that the project is very viable.
Thank you, Heidi. All right. No more comments. Shelley, could you do the roll call?
Sure. Jerry Abrahams.
Aye.
Cindy Butts.
Yes.
Wendy Clark.
Yes.
Heidi DeWingle.
Aye.
Kylie Goslin.
Aye.
Tim Hodges.
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon. Aye. Kayla Mascara Bruno.
Yes.
George Perez.
Yes.
Franklin Perry.
Yes.
Sarah Sanders.
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates.
Yes.
Glenn Thames.
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you. Masuda, the next resolution.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Forest Court, the board is being asked to approve a construction to permanent first mortgage loan, again, utilizing tax exempt bond proceeds for up to 3.8 million to Forest Court LLC. The construction portion is up to 250,000 interest only at a rate of 4.34% with a term of up to 24 months. The permanent loan will be for up to 3,550,000 at an interest rate of up to 4.19% interest only during construction, and then converting into a fully amortizing mortgage with a term of 40 years. Forest Court is an existing multifamily property that is in CHFA's portfolio. It is under the state-sponsored housing program. As part of the sale to the new ownership, this financing is going to preserve 36 family units in Farmington. The ownership is going to invest up to 60,000 per unit to address deferred maintenance and to improve the overall condition of the property. The vote in mortgage committee was unanimous, and we have staff available, and I would also welcome mortgage committee to share any of their observations and comments with you as you consider the resolution.
Thank you, Ms. Sura. May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So
moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Hi, this is Kathy. I had one question. 60,000 a unit is pretty small. Did the mortgage committee feel confident that the property would be able to maintain it in good condition, for the long term? So things like roofing and mechanicals, electrical, and that kind of thing is all that up to code and working efficiently.
Yeah, I think we're comfortable. We got comfortable with the budget. This is, I would say, a moderate renovation. We understand it's, updating kitchens, bathrooms, putting in new windows and a new roof, some exterior work as well. So I rely on the CHFA staff to vet the budget, but I think it seemed reasonable to us.
Just as an indicator too, everybody is only out of their unit during the day. By every night, you're able to go back into your unit because one day's for bath, one day's for kitchen, and everything else is done on the outside. So we looked into what it really is entailing for each unit, and they feel that this gets them in a position to keep these units in good shape for the long haul.
Yeah, and they also explained that the kitchens are small galley kitchens and small bathrooms, and there's the ability to easily replace the asbestos with some technique. It's exterior, and there's a way that they're able to do that with the windows efficiently as well.
Thank you, Greg and Cindy. Any other comment or question? Okay, thank you. Shelley?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Glenn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Motion carries. Masuda, the next resolution.
Yes, thank you. The board is being asked to approve the prepayment of 2 loans with a current outstanding balance of approximately 2.9 million for Velvet Mill. CHFA's approval will allow the borrower to address the parking garage structural improvements through a refinance. While the first mortgage loan is eligible for prepayment under the Preservation of Housing Affordability Policy the board approved earlier this year, the second mortgage does not meet that, which is why we're here asking for your approval. Velvet Mill is an existing development that's been in CHFA's portfolio for many years. 20% of the units are affordable to those earning less than 80% of area median income. As part of the refinance, the owner has agreed to extend the affordability for an additional
Talk to you after.
15
I'll be on later.
years using the current restrictions. The vote in mortgage committee was unanimous. And again, we have staff available to answer any questions for you.
Thank you, Masuda. May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved, Heidi.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. Questions or comments? All right, Shelley, could you do the roll call?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Glenn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Yes.
It's unanimous.
Thank you, Shelley. Motion carries. Our next item on the agenda is a resolution that is going to be presented by Hazim for the proposed amendment to the Single Family Emergency Mortgage Assistance Program procedures. Hazim?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Before you is a resolution to authorize CHFA to seek public comment for its EMAP procedures. By way of background, at the last session of the General Assembly, the legislature made some revisions to our statute pertaining to the Emergency Mortgage Assistance Program, or EMAP. The revisions were approved by the governor on June 30th and becomes effective on October 1. Due to the change, we are required to update our procedures to ensure it's consistent with the law. In summary, a new category or an emergency lien assistance payment was added to the program and becomes available to homeowners. To accommodate this category, the definition of eligible homeowner has been expanded to include a homeowner who does not have a mortgage but has received a lien holder's intent to foreclose, is 60 days or more delinquent, or anticipates will be 60 days or more delinquent on the debt secured by the lien. The other scenario is a homeowner that is current on their mortgage, however, has received a lien holder intent to foreclose, it's 60 days or delinquent, or anticipate will be 60 days or delinquent on the debt secured by the lien. And last but not least, a homeowner that is currently in forbearance. The statute was also changed where we had to change the definition of eligible mortgage, which has been expanded to include a reverse mortgage and a home equity conversion mortgage. In regards to the lien assistance itself, the program now permits assistance in the form of a one-time reinstatement with monthly assistance, where such assistance may continue for up to 36 months. The program also permits a homeowner to reapply on a lien so long as such lien was brought to current and the homeowner remained current to the lien holder for 18 consecutive months. Because we are amending the procedures, we would need your approval twice. One is today for us to seek the public comment, and the next is sometime at the November meeting after the 30-day public comment. I will be happy to answer any questions the board may have about the changes.
Thank you, Hazim. May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions or any comments?
This vote is just on the first piece, or is it on both pieces combined? What's proper? If we could do them both at the same time, we can call for one vote, or we can split them.
Oh, there's only one vote, Greg. So to
Okay,
allow
vote.
us to go for
Okay.
public comment, because we have to then report back to the board and provide updates as to what the public comment was. So we just have to go through the protocol.
Right now, okay.
Yeah.
So moved, yes.
Any other comments? All right, Shelley?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin,
Yes.
Kim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Stella Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Glenn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde,
Yes.
unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you. Nandini, you're going to present the employee compensation for fiscal year 2020 resolution?
Yes. Yes, good morning again. So I come before the board today to request your support for an employee recognition award to honor the exemplary work of CHFA staff during the 2020 calendar year. I think, I want to provide a few highlights of the extraordinary efforts of the staff and the team over the last 18 months, but focusing on 2020. The pandemic had an enormous impact on the way we do business. It had a disproportionate impact on the families we strive to assist with our programs. It was not a regular year by any stretch of the imagination. There was enormous pressure to bring relief programs online quickly and continue the regular business of the authority, all the while ensuring that employees had what they needed to stay productive. Our IT department, early on in 2020, as the pandemic took hold, we had to mobilize very quickly. Our IT department stepped up. They worked day and night to issue 130 laptops in 3 weeks. And we transitioned to a remote format immediately, not missing a beat. And we've gone to a remote format. We've been able to bring people in as needed. And we've been able to continue business as usual, which has been, extraordinary. They continue to provide this high level of support to us today in our all virtual environment. And they've transitioned us more recently to the Microsoft Cloud, which has been also extremely effective. In 2020, the board approved the 3-year strategic plan in November, but the work to develop that plan began earlier, much earlier, in the spring of 2020. We involved staff at all levels to help formulate our strategy, our outreach. We held meetings. We formed small working groups throughout the summer, working on timelines and tactics and key performance indicators. I hope you'll agree that the plan is one of the most comprehensive in CHFA's history. We're making good progress as of today. It involved our first ever strategic capital analysis of our finances that established a framework for how we think about capital and identifying resources we could be using to enhance our impact. We are in the first year of implementation, and I think we're doing pretty well. We've had to deal with a wave of retirements throughout the last 18 months, some of which were expected, others were not. Our human resources department has had to really scramble in some cases to fill positions. We've had an extremely competitive market to deal with. In some cases, we've had to go back to the drawing board to restructure positions to make them more attractive and appealing. We've recruited new talent. We've brought on new people. We've filled important positions throughout the organization and onboarded newly hired staff. The team has been thoroughly invested throughout the organization in being part of a more engaged and cohesive CHFA. With their assistance, we've been able to do a number of things, including, and I'm going to name a few things, but there's so many more that I don't have time for today, but we assisted the Department of Housing with their federally funded TRAP program, providing back office support and application processing that enabled almost 12,000 residents to receive $24 million in rental assistance in a matter of 2 or 3 months. We handled forbearance programs for single family and multifamily borrowers. We have new programs like the mobile and manufactured home refinance program. We made changes to our core down payment assistance and single family first mortgage programs in response to the effects of the pandemic on first-time home buyers. That work continues to this day. We've identified new funding sources like our Opportunity Fund that we're leveraging today to provide flexible funding in innovative ways. We rewrote our QAP, which involved significant outreach starting in 2020 to get key stakeholders in the room together, from energy efficiency to housing authorities and others. We applied to the CDFI fund of the US Treasury Department and received Connecticut's first ever award of Capital Magnet Fund dollars for financing housing opportunities in distressed communities. We've done significant amounts of outreach at all levels of the organization and communicated throughout the year to keep partners informed and engaged. We retooled our counseling programs, our lender training programs for virtual formats, and much, much more. I have been truly humbled by the dedication of the team to the mission, and I want to commend them for displaying courage and determination at a time of great challenge and need. So it is with these great achievements in mind that I'm requesting your approval to fund approximately 3% of salary costs, or $375,000, that will be used to provide a one-time payment or award to employees that will be merit-based. If you recall, we did not budget for any staff increases relating to the work of 2020 in the 2021 budget. So I very much appreciate your consideration of this request. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini. I have to say that not as the board or the chair of the board, but as the commissioner for the Department of Housing, both organizations have been working diligent in making sure that through the pandemic, we continue with the projects, especially because the governor designated construction as an essential business. And we have been able to do that and finish more than 3,000 units on completion, but we also have about 4,500 units on the construction. And having those on the construction means that through the pandemic, the staff were working diligent. So I'll totally support this recommendation from Nandini. But so I would like to entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So
that
moved.
Nandini presented.
Second.
Questions and or comments. Commissioner Paris, I can see your hand.
Yes. My question is, are employees in the union? And CHFA?
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
because I mean, I know in the agencies, we cannot do merit stuff. Everything has to be across the board. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah. No, thank you. Any other question?
Hey, Nandini. And again, I think I recognize, all the hard work, very difficult year, and you're to be congratulated for all that. I just have two questions. I don't recall, did we do a merit pay last year at this time?
So every year when we go to the board with our budget for the following year, we usually include merit or a percentage for employees based on merit. We did not include one last year.
Okay, so we didn't do one last year. Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
actually, Jerry, we included, but then we took it out.
Right. The
Got-
effect
okay.
did not include it, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
so employees didn't get it last year. Okay.
No.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
And then the other question, and I don't know if you don't know the answer to this off the top of your head, that's fine. You can get it to me at your conveniences. Does CHFA do some type of peer analysis for other quasi non-union state agencies, quasi-independent state agencies, both within the state and other state HFAs, to see how our comp policies and comp levels compare to our peers, and do that periodically? And if we do, when was the last time it was done, or any data for that? Again, if you don't have that handy, I would certainly understand.
So we have done some sampling. I can't say that it is a full-blown survey. It's hard to compare from out of state for a couple of different reasons. One is state housing finance agencies, which technically are our peers, tend to be quasis in some states, but they could be part of state government in other cases. So you really have to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples when you're doing that. Having said that, we've done some sampling, and we believe that our salaries and our compensation is in line with some of the others that may appear to be similarly situated organizations. In terms of Connecticut, the data we have shows us that there are other quasi governmental agencies in the state that have received merit-based increases over the last 12 months. So we believe that there are other quasis that have received similar percentages of increases in the last during the pandemic.
If you find which ones those are, those would be helpful to send out to folks when you have the chance.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you, Jerry. Cindy, do you have your hand up?
I do. I'm incredibly enthusiastic about this recommendation. I think it's really hard to keep talented staff, and I think our programs run because of the talent of the staff, and as many ways as we can identify to give Nandini the opportunity to recognize them for their ability to continue to work at CHFA, I think the better. So I'm super supportive of this.
Thank you, Cindy. Kylie?
Yeah, just a quick question. I think it'd be helpful for clarification of the group to Nandini is what's the process for determining sort of how the merit pay is allocated and sort of who gets what? Is there a regular review process that goes along with that?
Yes.
Just so everybody knows. Yep. Okay.
That's great. Great question, Kylie. So it is a very transparent process in the sense that we do have performance reviews. And we conducted one last year, even though there was no merit increases that were authorized in the budget. We went through our usual performance review process. And so we will be looking to that annual review process to establish the merit percentages that we will be providing to staff as a result of their performance in 2020.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also just wanted to really speak in favor of this and congratulate Nandini and the whole staff for the colossal effort to help with the rental assistance, especially from the United Way of Connecticut 2-on-1 perspective. We have been absolutely inundated with calls for basic needs assistance throughout the pandemic, rental assistance chief among them. So we have a very, very clear understanding, as I know many in this board do, of how very important that work has been, but how hard it is to stand up something quickly and make it work. So thank you for that. And thank you also to the commissioner for the great work of DOH to stand that up. And also just wanted to speak a little bit also to Jerry's point. I think we have to bear in mind when Nandini raises the very good point that it's hard to compare apples to apples, that cost of living between states, between communities in America is incredibly variable. And if it's of interest to others on this board, the United Way of Connecticut, as you may know, is the chief sponsor of the ALICE project in Connecticut, Asset Limited Income Constrained and Employed is what that stands for. And it's an effort to really understand cost of living. So if we are comparing to others, I just would suggest that we're very cautious about understanding the incredible variability between states in what it actually costs just to make ends meet, and that we aren't going to just look at numbers because we do have, I think, a greater mission to think about how can we be compensating our employees so that they can afford to live in this incredibly high cost of living state. Just wanted to make that point. Thank you.
Good point, Lisa. Thank you. Any other comments? Thank you, everyone. Shelley, could you do a roll call? You're mute.
Do we need a motion? Did you already?
We made a motion.
Do that. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes, approved.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Taylor Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Glenn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde,
Yes, truly a great job.
unanimous.
Thank you. Motion carries, and thank you, Nandini, and the staff. And please let them know that the board is very proud and very thankful for all the work they have done through the pandemic.
Thank you for your support as well.
So Shelley, you're gonna have to help me here. I need a motion. The next item on the agenda is actually our CEO performance review. Nandini was hired almost 2 years ago in a month. And this will be the first time that we do a performance review. So I need a motion to go into executive session. And Shelley, you're gonna tell me how
Yes.
this.
I'll move.
Can I have a second?
Executive session.
Second, Heidi.
questions or comments? Shelley?
Do you want to do the roll call or
Yep.
just? Okay. Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Betts,
Aye.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Glenn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi,
Yes.
unanimous.
Motion carries. So we'll go into the executive session. And Shelley, how do we do that? And how do we come back out of this executive session?
We are going to put everyone into a waiting room. And Lisa, can I ask you, I'll be the last one. I'll make Lisa the host and then you guys will be in. And then Lisa, when we come back, if you don't mind adding me first, and then we'll go through. Are there any board members that called in instead of used Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, so Tim is the only one. Everyone else will put in a waiting room.
Also, are you turning off recording?
Yes, recording will be off. And no, there's no staff members participating. Okay. Might take a few minutes.
We don't have to
Okay.
do anything, right?
No.
Okay.
Tim, are you still on?
I am.
Oh,
Okay.
good. We didn't lose anyone else, did we? Just got
I don't think they'd be
to.
able to tell you.
Good point.
Nantini, I'm putting Nantini in the waiting room. Nantini is not staying. Is that?
No.
No,
Okay.
she's not staying.
Okay, she's.
And I don't see Lisa anymore.
Lisa is here.
Oh, there's Lisa. Okay, we've got Lisa, we've got Heidi, Franklin, Cindy, Kathy, Sayla, Sarah, Kylie, Glenn, George, Wendy, Tim. I think we're good. Jerry, is Jerry here? Did we lose Jerry?
I think so. I don't see him.
So we might have to go to the.
Let him back in.
Yeah, let me find Jerry.
Oh, here's Jerry.
Okay.
I just put him back in.
Okay, so I can't put you in a waiting room, so if you want to turn it over to Lisa, then she can put us in waiting rooms, or you can put me in one.
Shelley, before you go, I just texted you a quick question. Do you see that?
Yes.
Also, do we need to have the screen share? I can only see a little.
As soon as I go out,
Okay. That'll go.
it'll go. I can stop sharing.
Shelley, are you able to put me in the waiting room?
I can't. Cheryl apparently is the host instead of.
Oh, no, you're the host, Shelley. You're the You're listed as the host. I'm just a co-host.
Sticky one. Yeah, I
I
can't
can
put
just, I can also just leave.
I have to remove your co-host permissions to put you in waiting room.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so Lisa, I'm gonna make you the host. Thank you. If you want to stick me in a waiting room.
So let's see if that works.
We're also still recording, which I don't think we want to do.
Boom.
Heidi, could you present the resolution?
Okay.
All right, so
Um,
we'll start. Lisa, do we still have, are we all set?
Everyone should
Shelley?
check in. Shelley, do you
Yes.
think everyone has successfully rejoined? It looks like it.
Looks like it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay.
All right, so the next resolution in our agenda is regarding the compensation of the Chief Executive Officer. And Heidi, you will be presenting that resolution.
Yes, just, very briefly, the Personnel Committee is recommending a 4% cost of living increase and a 4% merit increase to the CEO for her excellent work during the year for implementing the new strategic plan, for transitioning CHFA to a remote working environment, for fostering a better and more cohesive work environment, streamlining board presentations, hiring a number of senior management, obtaining new grants, and really promoting significant outreach programs. So for all of those reasons, we're recommending those increases for our chief executive.
Thank you, Heidi. May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions? Shelley, could you do the roll call, please?
Yes. Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Gosselin,
Yes.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Glenn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde,
Yes.
unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you, Shelley. We have two more reports. Michelle Onofrio is going to present a report on the Housing Tax Credit Contribution Program. Michelle?
Good morning, everyone. Yes, let me just begin by providing a quick background of the program for those members that might not be familiar with it. The HTCC program does provide tax credit vouchers to business firms that make cash contributions to nonprofit corporations that sponsor housing programs for the benefit of low and moderate income families and individuals. We, CHFA, administer that program for the Department of Revenue Services. Historically, there's been $10 million in tax credits included in the state budget annually. And of that 10 million, state statute does require us to set aside 1 million for workforce housing and 2 million for supportive housing. And last year, when I made this report to the Mortgage Committee with regard to the 2020 results, I did indicate that we were going to be working on a comprehensive process improvement initiative. We really wanted to focus on compliance of this program, as well as along with strengthening compliance, we also wanted to streamline and clarify the HTCC program guidelines. So in January of this year, I assembled a team to do that and led that initiative. Just to touch base quickly on some of the key items that we did implement this year. We started out by conducting a very intensive review of the CONEP and the guidelines and made sure that they now align so that the two requirements in both documents are much more consistent. We took a look at all the definitions in the guidelines and expanded them to provide more clarity. And we included, where we could, detailed descriptions of the submission requirements. And at the same time, we were able to identify submission documents that the team really felt needed input from our technical services staff. In previous rounds, they were always available to answer questions of the reviewers if they came up. But for this round, they were included in the review of all of the applications. And they mainly focused their attention on items such as in zoning, environmental matters, building permits, and construction costs. So ultimately, we found that the review, the participation that they had resulted in a consistent review of those areas related to their expertise. In an effort to strengthen compliance, the form that is used by awardees to document their quarterly progress was significantly enhanced. We added questions that were specifically formulated to remind an awardee of program and requirements and to alert them to seek guidance if necessary from us. And then to review and monitor all the quarterly report submissions, we assembled a team of internal staff to do that. Just to give you an idea, I mean, in any one quarter, we receive approximately 60 quarterly reports. And along with those quarterly reports comes with all the backup documentation to support any disbursements that they had made within the 3 months prior. So it's a lot of information. So they go through all that, and I lead bi-weekly meetings with the team so that we can answer questions, and I can provide feedback, and we can all be on the same page if issues arise. And then finally, another addition that we've made to the program is, as a project progresses, we now have a staff person, one of the team members that's involved in reviewing the quarterly report, actually go out to the site and meet with the nonprofit so they can observe the work that was done. And overall, we found for this round that these changes really helped the applications in the current round. It helped the applicants missing any submission requirements. And as a result, it really required less of our staff time in reviewing the applications, as well as during the clarification process. We didn't need to ask as many questions as usual because the applications were in much better shape. And then in terms with the compliance changes for previous awardees, I think it's really helped open the lines of communication between CHFA and the nonprofits. We've definitely developed better relationships with many of them. They have a better understanding of what we need from them, and I think it's worked out well. And we do anticipate a second phase of this initiative to continue refining things in 2022. Now, just to give you the results of this round. So in the current round, we received 34 applications totaling more than $15 million. We did have a return of close to $926,000 from previous awardees, and I won't get into the details, but they are noted for the reasons are noted in the memorandum that you have in your package. So therefore, we were able to we will be submitting reservations for 23 applicants totaling $10,920,000. 2 of those awardees are going to utilize proceeds to create and/or rehab supportive housing projects in 2 cities. We have 1 awardee that'll capitalize a revolving loan fund, and that loan fund will provide low-cost loans for the construction, repair, or rehab of housing throughout the state. And then the remaining awardees are going to create and/or rehab housing throughout 12 cities and towns. We did not have any workforce housing applications this year, and we did need to eliminate 1 of the 34 applicants for non-compliance. The good news is Eversource has indicated that they will be participating in this program again, so it's very likely that all of these credits will be purchased by year end. I'd be happy to entertain any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Michelle. Any questions for Michelle or for the program? All right. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We also have a report on the Homeowner Assistance Fund. So that is Lisa Copper.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Happy to give you an update on CHFA on behalf of DOH. So by way of quick background, in early 2021, Congress enacted the American Rescue Plan Act, which created a $10 billion Homeowner Assistance Fund program. So the purpose of the Homeowner Assistance Fund program is to help stabilize homeownership by helping to mitigate housing-related financial hardship caused by COVID. So we're providing funds to eligible entities, excuse me, by providing funds to eligible entities for the purpose of preventing homeowner mortgage delinquency, default, and foreclosures. Connecticut was awarded about $123 million. The law requires that at least 60% of the allocation is designated for homeowners with incomes at or below 100% AMI. And of that designation, Connecticut is going to set aside $50 million for homeowners making less than 80% AMI. Also by law, we are required to submit our plan to Treasury of how we expect to spend the funds. Part of that process is to hold a public comment period, which we did in September, from September 8th to September 17th. And Nanthani talked about some of this, but we received 26 written comments. We also solicited feedback directly from housing advocacy and legal aid organizations to get their input on the needs assessment. Our goal is to submit our plan in the next few days, but certainly on or before October 15th. Yeah, next slide. So Connecticut, when we were deciding how to use the funds, we created 4 grant programs to help homeowners retain their homes and mitigate the financial distress. So we have a mortgage assistance grant. It's a one-time reinstatement of delinquency, forborne or deferred mortgage payments, and that includes the principal, interest, and escrowed items in the payment. We also have a payment assistance grant, and so that's a reinstatement and then up to 12 months of mortgage monthly mortgage payment assistance. Now, just to note, if somebody is current but struggling and needs forward payments, they could also qualify here. They don't have to be delinquent to qualify for the mortgage payments. And then we also have 2 grants for homeowners who may not have mortgages, but who have liens or other delinquent qualified housing expenses. And this could be taxes, homeowner association, water sewer charges, or other non-escrowed insurance expenses, special assessments, things like that. So similar to the first 2 grants, we have a reinstatement grant, and then we have a grant that is payment assistance for up to 12 months of payments. In order to be eligible for payment assistance, we're going to have homeowners take, homeowners need to be, underemployed or unemployed. And that can include homeowners who may be working several jobs, but still can't make their bills. Their payment stream, their income stream has changed because of COVID. A homeowner may also be eligible for 1 or more grant types, but they can't exceed the max program award of $30,000. So eligible households, our homeowners will attest that they're experiencing a financial hardship that happened after 1/21/2020, or before 1/21/2020, but is continuing because of COVID. And that'll be a self-certification. We won't be requiring documentation to verify that. Homeowners, by definition of the program from Treasury, homeowners must have an income less than 150% AMI adjusted for household size. Homeowner must live in Connecticut and occupy this property as their primary residence. The eligible property types are 1 to 4 unit houses, condos, manufactured homes. We will have an asset test. So homeowners with liquid assets in excess of $20,000 may be asked to make a contribution towards their delinquency. Again, this will be a self-certification of assets, and we won't be collecting documentation for the asset test. We did have some feedback from some of our public comments about required homeowner education. And we're going to be asking applicants who are receiving the payment assistance grants take a financial fitness foreclosure prevention class with the goal of having these homeowners review their financial situation and help them make a budget so they can remain on a successful path to financial fitness. In general, our plan requires, will cover expenses from October 21st, 2019 forward, or real estate taxes that were on the October 2018 grand list and subsequent grand lists. That's not a Treasury requirement, but we felt that allowing expenses back to October 2019, that was a reasonable indicator that the financial distress was COVID related, so that expenses prior to that were likely not COVID related. Part of the plan, or the plan required that we do a needs assessment test to help us design the program and figure out where we need to do our marketing and outreach. So we have created a homeowner hardship index, HHI, and we use data from several sources. And what this does is it ranks. We have 8 categories, and we've assigned a ranking to each of these categories, and we've ranked all of our zip codes with these categories. And zip codes that have the highest number are have a higher index, and those are the red states, the red and orange states. And so that's what we'll be focusing our marketing and outreach. More marketing and outreach to these folks. We'll be an outreach across the state, but those red areas will get a extra touch. So application process. We're working to design an online portal that'll be very easy for applicants to apply. The portal will be in English and Spanish. It'll have an integrated call center with support with virtual options like a live chat or a video conference to help the homeowners complete their applications. At any time along the process, the homeowner can sign into the portal and check on the status of their app. They can call up the call center, and the call center is integrated. The call center can provide them with status on their application, what documentation may be missing, or exactly where along the path the process is. We realize we have some homeowners in the state who may not have access to the technology. So we will have non-digital options for homeowners to apply for the program, and that can consist of calling a call center and doing an application over the phone, or getting an application mailed to them, or going into a resource center and getting an application and filling it out there, or using the technology at the resource center. Connecticut will be partnering and leveraging the Unite CT resource center. So where Unite CT has a resource center, Connecticut HAF will also have somebody in that resource center that can help folks who have any questions about the program or the process or need help with the application. Treasury indicated in their guidance that they did not want documentation to be a burden for the homeowner. So we're going to use self-certification or attestation as much as possible. But some of the documentation we would be looking for is verification of income, state issued ID, social security number, and then the latest, either the mortgage statement or the tax bill or the HOA invoice, whatever we're curing, we would just need to have that last bill to get that information. So marketing and outreach. So we are developing a robust marketing and outreach plan with a strong non-digital component. We realize how important it is to get the word out to different communities through media channels and through the trusted partners who work in these different communities, through the municipalities and organizations that work in the communities. So we're going to be going out with print media, radio, TV, billboards, postcards. We'll determine which outlets and organizations reach the audience best and communicate in different languages as necessary. We'll be using digital methods as well, social media, DOH and CHFA's websites, email campaigns. We've identified some stakeholders that can and will assist us, and we'll hold joint events with them, and we'll attend community and social events to help get the message out about the program. We're going to be partnering with the local and the national lenders and banks. We'll be doing for all the servicers that we know of, and we have a list through an organization that we belong to. We'll be sending out collaboration agreements to all of these servicers so they can have the information about our program. When one of their Connecticut homeowners calls in looking for assistance, the servicer will have the information to get that homeowner to the program.
So Lisa, the plan is also on the website, right? So if anybody has any questions on the program, since we have short time.
Sure, yep.
But it's also on the website, so that if you have time to take a look at the plan and any particular issue or comment or suggestions that you may have, you can send it to Nandini. But any questions on Lisa's presentation so far? All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Commissioner.
For all your work. And as I said, if anybody has comments or suggestions, please send it to Nandini. Next I need to have an approval for our consent agenda. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Comments, questions? Hearing none. Shelley?
Jerry Abraham.
Aye.
Cindy Butts.
Yes.
Wendy Clark.
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger.
Yes.
Kylie Goslin.
Yes.
Tim Hodges. Tim? He may have left. Kathy McKinnon left. Salem Mascara Bruno.
Yes.
George Perez.
Yes.
Franklin Perry.
Yes.
Sarah Sanders.
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates.
Yes.
Glenn Thames.
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you. Before we adjourn, just wanted to remind the board members that Tech Carol sent an email, is a survey about the board and how we're doing, basically a performance evaluation of our work, how we can make it better or not, if we think that we are all happy with what we're doing. But please, I think we only have 8 board members that have responded to the survey. But if you have a chance, we're gonna give you an extension until Monday, so that then we can proceed with our work. And
Yeah, I just want to add, it only takes a few minutes to complete the survey. If I know that people haven't done it, but I think you'll be surprised. You'll know what your answers to the questions are as you move through it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor? say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.